We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Pointing Out the Obvious. This is our news and politics webcast. I'm your host, Patrick Russell. Over there is my very opinionated producer, Veronica. Together, we are here to quip and quiver through today's headlines, searching for the real, no matter how deep into the swamp we need to go. Yep. Veronica, there was no other choice. There was no other news topic to speak about. We lost American soldiers yesterday. 13 U.S. American warriors were lost to a suicide bomb right outside the Kabul airport. Veronica, how surprised were you to hear about the bombing news?
Not surprised. I mean, we're still in the middle of what's happening, so I'm not surprised, and probably we're going to hear more in the next couple of days.
I think that the fighting will be escalating. I absolutely agree. Why? Because it's in the benefit of some other fraction terrorist groups that are within the Taliban, not even the Taliban themselves, which are pretending to be an organization with a centralized hierarchy, a chain of command, which it doesn't. Everything is really fluid in the situation as far as leadership. Everybody is just working in coalition with each other until it doesn't fit them anymore, and then they have no problems turning on each other, right? And so it's a fractured situation that in no scenario was there ever a belief that the United States military could evacuate, leave the country of Afghanistan, and for this turmoil to not have occurred. No way. How do we know that? Because we only needed to be there for 2 years. Yep. After the first 2 years, we've been trying to get out. And you know the reason why we never got out, and that would include the last part of George Bush, the Obamas, and Trump, and then now Biden. Why? Because in no scenario did our intelligence believe that the Afghan army was going to hold up to the Taliban that were just holding up like cockroaches, waiting for the lights to be turned on so that they could come out.
They were getting ready.
You know, there is this silly sci-fi movie that I grew up with, Starship Troopers, where there's this group of Marines that are surrounded by a horde of big alien creatures, right? And imagine just 1 million of them.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even decipher how many of them there were because there were just so many coming at you from the mountains, coming down. That's exactly what the Taliban was. As soon as we retreated out, all of our intelligence understood that they were going to be coming out, and they were going to come out in force, ready to take on the villagers, the sheep herders, the mountaineers of Afghanistan that makes up most of the population. When you threaten someone's family, how quick do you throw your gun down and wave the white flag?
Yeah.
It was the only aspect to the fall of Afghanistan that the U.S. intelligence could not predict. No one can. The measure of a man's heart. We knew they were going to fall. We knew they were going to fold hard.
I don't think we knew with this intent. So just kind of rephrasing what you said. Bush, Barack Obama, 8 years. And then now, and then Trump. And then Trump. And then so I was watching actually some videos from the past, the past couple of years. Every single president said the same thing. We have it under control. We have it under control. So I don't want to pretend that it's Biden's fault or he's not acting the way he's supposed to, because it's ever since like 20 years ago.
That's the point of what I'm about to say. Biden's acting like a president that doesn't care about his political future. And you know what?
Because he's old.
That's exactly right. Watching him give the news conference yesterday, I watched every minute of it, listened to every word, and believed in the sincerity of what he was trying to say, but something else is coming out to me loud and clear too. This is an old man we're talking about. And
we knew, Patrick, because even you and I, when we were watching the news, we knew that he was older, that he was walking slower. I'm going to speak for myself. I have hopes between one and the other, and let's face it, I wanted to give it a try, and we understood that he was old. I understood that he was old, and probably he's not going to run for another 4 years. So we understood that.
And why am I bringing this up? Because if I am so allowed to psychoanalyze what I saw, I don't think he's worried about his political future. I think he feels that he's in a chapter in his life where history has called upon him to put this country in the right direction. And that meant making choices that were political suicide. How do we know we're political suicide? Because no one else before him was willing enough to do it.
Yeah.
But he was.
They were thinking ahead. They were thinking of the next election, right? So were they scared?
Always thinking about the next election and never wanting to put themselves in a political poop, pile of poop that would take away from their ability to get reelected or take away from their ability for their a political base to stay in power. But I don't think that that's what Papa Joe's worried about right now. I think Papa Joe realizes that our country is hurting. Our country has made some really bad mistakes, and the only reason why we haven't gotten out of those mistakes was for political reasons and aspirations of individuals. Not what was supposed to be done, not the decisions and the course of actions that needed to be taken in order to make our country strong and protected. We don't need to be spending money or blood in an Afghanistan territory where nobody likes each other over there. It's like the only thing they're waiting for is an imperial power to come in so that they have a united front against an external enemy. Because once you remove that, then they go back to fighting each other. It doesn't end. It never ended. It's not going to end. We needed to get out. And history called upon Papa Joe. And last night, I could see it in his eyes. He doesn't care about another 4 years. He's going to do what he needs to for this country in this 4 years. And Papa Joe, I'm with you, buddy, even though it's going to be pretty ugly, and I know what you're doing. And I appreciate what you're doing because it's self-sacrifice, people, and that is a sign of true leadership. Guys, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. There is your opinion. Please use the comment boxes below. Don't just subscribe to this show, even though we will be doing this on a daily basis. Boom, thank you. But be part of the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what comes your way, no matter what obstacles or challenges that you may face, you just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Have a great day, guys. Take care.